Okay, let's write the equation of a third-degree polynomial in standard form that has zeros of -5 and 3i. Remember, third degree means that we have 3 zeros or x-intercepts, and that does include multiplicity. And then our zeros of -5 and 3i. But remember, by the conjugate roots theorem, this also means that we have x equal to -3i as well. You cannot have one I. If you have one I, you're a pirate. In math, we need both of them for our roots. All right, so starting out with x equal to -5, his factor is x plus 5. We're working backwards, just like we did in our zeros of polynomials and in writing our quadratic given the roots. And if we have x equal to 3i, his factor is going to be x minus 3i. And x equal to -3i gets us x plus 3i. So when I start building my polynomial, which this time I'm going to call p of x, I have x plus 5 times x minus 3i times x plus 3i. And this is in factored form. And notice that if I were to double check the degree, I would take all of the exponents and I wind up with 3. So I have my third degree polynomial. If it asked for factored form, I would be done. But it specifically asked for standard form, which means that we need to do the multiplication. When you have the imaginaries, the i's, the complex numbers, you're going to start by multiplying these guys first. And we're going to FOIL it out. So x times x gets us x squared. X times positive 3i gets us plus 3ix. Negative 3i times x gets us negative 3ix. And negative 3i times positive 3i gets us negative 9i squared. Notice that the middle terms are going to cancel. That's the cool thing about the conjugate roots theorem, which means that we have x squared minus 9i squared. But remember that I squared is equal to -1. You should never see an exponent on your i's. They can all be simplified, which means that we have x squared minus 9 times -1. And doing the multiplication, we get x squared plus 9. So we simplified the x minus 3 times So we've simplified the x minus 3i times x plus 3i down to x squared plus 9. I'm going to bring down my x plus 5. We're almost there, but we're still in a factored form because we still have multiplication and parentheses. So let's go ahead and do the multiplication again. X times x squared gets us x cubed. X times 9 gets us plus 9x. Inside, 5 times x squared gets us plus 5x squared. And 5 times 9 gets us 45. And let's go ahead and write this in descending order. We have x cubed plus 5x squared plus 9x plus 45. We're not going to be solving anything because we're working backwards. If we were to solve this equation, we would get x equal to -5, x equal to 3i, x equal to -3i. We know we're in standard form because there are no parentheses, there's no multiplication. We have just plus or minus going on in between.